everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You know, we love to get our hands dirty with the latest and greatest, and today we're diving into Dubai real estate.
Sounds exciting.
It is exciting, especially if you're, interested in investments and how to make them smarter, staying ahead of the curve and all that good stuff.
Wait.
We're going to be talking about AI,
What?
predicting property hotspots, blockchain.
I love blockchain.
To make sure all those deals are super secure and even real-time data, so you're always a step ahead.
Wow, so much tech.
Yeah.
It sounds like the future of real estate is already here.
It really does, especially in a place like Dubai. I mean, are you ready to kind of level up your investment strategy?
I am. I'm definitely. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's jump right in because Dubai's real estate market it's really something else, isn't it?
It is. It's like a high-speed race.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, things move so fast that the old ways, just browse listings, they just don't cut it anymore.
Yeah, it's like you blink and you miss the best deals.
Exactly. You need to be on top of your game.
Yeah. So how do these data analytics tools, they sound super powerful, but like how do they actually help us, make smarter decisions?
Okay, so think about it this way.
Okay.
It's like having a crystal ball,
Oh, I like that.
but instead of magic, it's all data. It's AI and predictive analytics that can analyze tons of data from the past. Things like a property's age, location, price changes, population growth, all that stuff that can really affect prices.
It's like having, a whole team of analysts working 24/7, but they're all robots.
Precisely.
That's crazy.
It's amazing what technology can do these days.
So you're saying AI can actually predict the future of the real estate market?
Well, not exactly predict, but more like identify, which areas have the highest chance of growing based on all this data.
Okay, so give me an example. Like how would this work in Dubai specifically?
Okay, so let's say the AI is looking at Dubai's population growth, and it notices, a spike in new businesses opening in a certain area. Maybe an area that wasn't really on anyone's radar before. That could be a sign, that this area is about to take off.
Oh, so it's like getting those insider tips, but it's all based on data.
Exactly. It's about being ahead of the curve.
That's incredible.
And that's the beauty of data analytics.
And, speaking of staying ahead, that's where real-time data comes in, right? I mean, it sounds like you need to be super quick in a market like Dubai.
Absolutely. Things change so fast in Dubai. You need to be able to react instantly.
Yeah.
And platforms like AIinRealEstate.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they're fantastic because they provide insights on, things like how quickly properties are selling in different areas, what the vacancy rates are, that kind of stuff.
So it's like having your finger on the pulse of the market at all times.
Exactly. You're always in the know.
So for example, let's say I'm interested in those like really high-end properties in like Palm Jumeirah or Dubai Marina.
Right.
How would a platform like AIinRealEstate help me make, a smarter decision?
So those are prime locations.
Yeah.
And knowing how they're performing right now at this very moment is crucial.
Yeah.
And with AIinRealEstate, you can track all of that. Are those luxury properties on Palm Jumeirah flying off the market? Or are things slowing down? What are the rental yields like in Dubai Marina? All these insights can really, make a big difference in your investment strategy.
So it's like having that extra layer of information that you just wouldn't have otherwise.
All about making informed decisions.
Okay, I love that. But let's be real for a second here. Real estate deals, especially in a global market like Dubai, they can be scary.
They can be. Yeah, there's always that element of risk.
Yeah, so how does all this tech, how does it actually make things more secure? Are we talking like bulletproof deals here?
I would say so, yes. And a lot of that comes down to blockchain.
Blockchain, okay.
Yeah, imagine you're about to buy a property and you can instantly verify who owns it, see its entire history, and know that everything is secure, tamper-proof.
Okay, that sounds amazing. But I gotta be honest, blockchain still feels kind of mysterious to me. Can you break it down? Like, how does it actually work?
Sure. So think of it like a digital ledger where every property transaction is added as a block to a chain.
Okay.
And each block is linked to the one before it. So if you tried to change even one tiny thing, you'd have to change every single block after. It's practically impossible.
So it's like having a super secure history report for every property in Dubai.
Exactly. And that's why it's so powerful for building trust and transparency in the market.
Yeah, especially when you have so much international investment happening in Dubai.
Yeah.
Like you need that extra level of security.
Absolutely. It's all about peace of mind.
So we've got AI predicting trends, real-time data keeping us informed, and blockchain adding that security layer. It's like the dream team of real estate tech.
It really is.
So tell me, is there like a platform that brings all of this together?
There is, and Ellen is a great example of that.
Right.
It's not just about, giving you data. It's about giving you the tools to actually use that data to make the best decisions.
Oh, that's cool.
So they have, tailored property searches, really in-depth market analysis. They even have those predictive pricing models
Oh.
and ROI calculators, so you can really crunch the numbers and see what your potential returns might be.
It's like having your own personal real estate command center, but it's all powered by data.
That's a great way to put it.
It's incredible how technology is changing everything.
It is.
But let's not forget about the bigger picture here. The economy plays a huge role in real estate, right? What are some of those big economic trends that investors need to be watching?
Oh, you're absolutely right. We can't ignore the macro level when it comes to real estate. So
Mm.
things like GDP growth, interest rates,
Yeah.
inflation, all of these can have a big impact on the Dubai real estate market.
So give me an example, like how would those things actually play out, in the real world?
Okay, so let's say the economy starts to slow down.
Okay.
Investors might get a little bit more cautious,
Makes sense.
especially when it comes to, those big purchases like luxury properties or, commercial developments. They might hold back a bit, wait for things to improve.
Mm.
But on the flip side, if the economy is booming, that could be a fantastic time to invest in those high demand areas where, property values are likely to go up.
So it's all about understanding those bigger forces and how they might impact, your specific investment goals.
Exactly. It's all connected.
So how do investors, how do they actually make sense of all this economic data? It sounds a bit overwhelming.
It can be, but there's some key things to watch for, GDP growth, for example. Strong economy usually means a good real estate market.
Okay.
Interest rates are another big one. When they go up, borrowing gets more expensive, and that can slow down the market.
Right.
And of course, inflation, if things are getting more expensive, property values might go up, but so will the cost of everything else.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It is,
Mm.
but it's all part of being an informed investor.
So we've covered AI, blockchain, real-time data, and now economic trends. My head's spinning a little bit.
I can imagine.
But the big question is, what does all of this mean for, someone who's actually thinking about investing in Dubai real estate? Like, how do we put all of this together?
I think the key takeaway here
Mm.
is data is king in Dubai real estate.
I like that data's king.
Yeah, using a data-driven approach, you get so many benefits. You reduce your risk, you have more clarity, you can spot those emerging trends and really gain that competitive edge.
So it's not just about, following the crowd. It's about, being ahead of the game.
Absolutely. It's about making smart, informed decisions, not just relying on gut feelings.
That's fantastic. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm really excited to hear more.
Me too.
But before we dive into, some specific examples and really get into the nitty-gritty details, I want to hear from our listeners out there. What's resonating with you so far? What are your, aha moments or any burning questions you have about, how to use data to really level up your investment game in Dubai?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
All right, so stay tuned because in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to explore how data analytics is being used to, really identify those emerging property hotspots and uncover those hidden opportunities that you might not even know exist.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Okay, so now that you have a taste of how data is like changing everything in Dubai real estate, let's get into like a specific example how to use it. Like finding those up-and-coming property hotspots, those hidden gems.
Yeah, those are the ones everyone wants to find, right?
Exactly. Everyone wants to get in early before the prices go crazy.
Yeah, and I remember back in the day, it was all about, like talking to local agents, trying to get those insider tips. But with data, it's like we have this like secret weapon now.
Exactly. It's like having a map that shows you exactly where to dig for treasure.
I like that. So give me an example. Like how could we use data to find these hotspots in Dubai?
Okay, so imagine you're looking at two different neighborhoods, right? They both seem like they have potential. Maybe one has slightly better amenities or transport links. But then you dive into the data and you discover that the other neighborhood is projected to have, a huge influx of new residents, maybe because of some upcoming infrastructure projects or new tech hubs being developed there.
So you're like seeing those hidden growth drivers that you wouldn't necessarily notice just by looking at the surface?
Exactly. You're getting a glimpse into the future of that neighborhood.
Okay, that's cool. But how do we translate those predictions into actual investment strategies? Like what actions would you take based on this information?
Well, you could definitely focus your property searches on those identified hotspots, right? Try to find those undervalued properties that have the potential to really appreciate in value as that neighborhood develops.
It's all about timing, right?
Exactly, getting in early before everyone else catches on.
And are there any other strategies that come to mind?
Oh, yeah. Another approach could be, investing in new developments in those emerging hotspots.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, by partnering with developers who are already using data to make those smart decisions, you can really get in on the ground floor of something potentially very profitable.
So it's a win-win for both the developers and the investors.
Absolutely. Everyone benefits from those data-driven decisions.
And it's not just about, the property appreciating in value, right? What about rental income? How does that factor into the equation?
Well, as these neighborhoods become more desirable, rental demand is going to go up, which means higher rental yields for property owners.
So you're not just, benefiting from the property going up in value, but you're also getting that steady stream of passive income.
That's the dream, right?
Absolutely. But we've been talking a lot about the future. What about understanding the current state of the market? Like, how does data help us with that?
That's where those real-time data platforms come in. They give you that up-to-the-minute information on, everything from property prices and sales volumes to rental rates and vacancy trends.
It's like having a live dashboard of the Dubai real estate scene.
Exactly. You can see exactly what's happening right now as it's happening.
Okay, so can you walk me through a scenario where this real-time data would be like super valuable?
Sure. Let's say you're thinking about investing in a particular neighborhood, right, with a real-time data platform. You could see how many properties are on the market, how quickly they're selling, at what prices. You're not relying on outdated information or rumors. You're getting the real picture.
Yeah, that transparency is huge.
And it can make a big difference in your decision making.
So give me like a specific example of how real-time data could be used in a real estate transaction.
Okay, so let's say you're a buyer and you're ready to make an offer on a property. You can use real-time data to see, what similar properties in the area have recently sold for.
Oh, smart.
That gives you leverage when you're negotiating, right?
Yeah, you're not overpaying or getting caught up in like a bidding war.
Exactly. You're making a data-driven decision.
What about from the seller's perspective? How can they benefit from real-time data?
If you're selling a property, real-time data can help you price it competitively.
Yeah.
You can see what other properties are going for. Make sure you're not undervaluing your asset.
So it's about finding that balance where both the buyer and the seller feel like they're getting a fair deal.
Absolutely. And data can really help with that.
Now, we can't forget about blockchain. We talked about it a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Can you remind me how blockchain is being used to make those real estate transactions more secure in Dubai?
Sure. So remember, blockchain is like that digital ledger that keeps track of every transaction.
Yeah.
So in real estate, every step of the process is documented and verified on the blockchain.
So it's like tamper-proof.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so good for building trust and, getting rid of fraud.
And that's super important in a global market like Dubai.
Absolutely. You need that extra level of security when you have so many international buyers and sellers.
So give me some examples of how blockchain is actually being used in Dubai's real estate market.
Well, one of the big ones is the land registry system.
Oh, okay.
The Dubai Land Department is using blockchain to create this secure platform for recording property ownership. So instead of having all those paper records that can get lost or damaged, everything is stored safely on the blockchain.
So it's like having a digital fingerprint for every property.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More secure, and it makes the whole process of buying and selling properties so much smoother.
I love that. But we've been talking a lot about the positives of using data in real estate. Are there any like potential risks or challenges that we should be aware of?
Oh, of course. No investment is completely risk-free, right? And data is just a tool. It's not a magic solution.
Yeah, I get that.
So one thing to be mindful of is data bias.
Data bias, what's that?
So if the data that's used to train those AI algorithms is incomplete or skewed, it can lead to inaccurate predictions and, potentially bad investment decisions.
So garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. You need to make sure the data you're using is accurate and reliable.
What else should we watch out for?
Data security is another big one. As we rely more and more on these digital platforms, we need to make sure that sensitive information is protected from breaches and cyber attacks.
Yeah, those data breaches are scary.
They are. So it's really important to work with platforms that take data security seriously.
Any other words of caution before we move on?
Well, I think it's important to remember that data is just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
It can give you amazing insights, but you
Yeah.
still need to use your own judgment. Do your research, understand the market, and make informed decisions based on all the information you have available.
So it's like finding that balance between data-driven analysis and human intuition.
Exactly. You're using data to empower your decisions, not replace them.
That's a great point. So we've covered a lot today, from the basics of data analytics to the potential risks and challenges now. Before we move on to those really exciting possibilities of the future, let's try to distill all of this information into some actionable advice. What are your top 3 tips for someone who wants to leverage data effectively in the Dubai real estate market?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so first I would say embrace those AI-powered tools.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the technology. Let it be your guide in finding those emerging trends and those hidden opportunities.
Okay, so don't shy away from the tech. Embrace it.
Exactly. Use it to your advantage.
What else?
Second, stay ahead of the curve with that real-time market data. Those platforms we talked about, they're your secret weapon for knowing what's happening in the market right now.
So it's all about having that up-to-date information.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3, leverage the power of blockchain. Make sure you're working with platforms and developers who are using that technology to make those transactions secure and build a more trustworthy real estate ecosystem.
Blockchain definitely seems like the future of real estate.
It is. And don't forget to keep learning.
Yeah.
The world of data analytics is constantly changing.
Yeah.
So stay curious and stay informed.
It's all about staying ahead of the game, right?
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, well, get ready, because in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to explore some of the most exciting possibilities on the horizon, like those virtual reality property tours you were talking about earlier,
Oh, yeah, those are going to be amazing.
and smart homes that can practically think for themselves.
It's going to be mind-blowing.
I can't wait. Okay, so we've talked about how data is like changing the game in Dubai real estate, finding those hidden gems, making sure your deals are super secure. But now let's look ahead. What trends are you most excited about in this like data-driven world?
You know, Imagine sitting at home, maybe sipping on some Karak tea, and you're touring a luxury penthouse in Dubai Marina, but you're doing it all through VR.
Whoa, wait, so I can virtually walk through a property in Dubai without even leaving my couch?
Exactly. No flights, no jet lag, just a pure immersive experience. That's one trend. I'm really excited about the rise of virtual and augmented reality in real estate.
That's wild. What does that mean for like investors like me?
Well, think about it. You can experience the property firsthand. You get a feel for the layout, the views, the ambiance, all before you even think about making a decision.
So it's like having a personal tour guide, but they're virtual and available 24/7.
Exactly. And for developers, it's huge. They can showcase their projects to a global audience.
So it's like bringing Dubai to the world.
Pretty much.
What other like cool tech advancements are you keeping an eye on?
Well, the integration of smart home technology with data analytics, that's a game changer.
Okay, tell me more.
Imagine a building that can learn your preferences, adjust the temperature before you even get home, or alert you to potential maintenance issues before they become like big problems.
So we're talking about buildings that can think.
It's about optimizing building performance, making them more efficient, more sustainable, and for investors, it's amazing. Imagine having real-time data on your property's energy consumption, occupancy rates, maintenance needs.
It's like having a constant health check on your investment.
Exactly. You can really maximize its value.
We can't talk about the future without talking about sustainability, right? How is data playing a role in making the real estate industry more eco-friendly?
That's a great point. As more people become environmentally conscious, investors are looking for those eco-friendly buildings, and data can help make that happen.
Okay, how so?
By analyzing things like energy consumption patterns, waste management practices, we can identify areas for improvement, implement sustainable solutions.
Like solar panels, smart irrigation systems, that kind of thing.
Exactly, all guided by data.
So it's not just about being good to the planet, it's also a smart investment.
Absolutely. Sustainability and profitability, they can definitely go hand in hand.
And in a city like Dubai, which is always pushing the boundaries, I think we'll see even more innovation in this area.
I agree. Dubai has always been ahead of the curve.
So much to look forward to. We've covered so much today, from the basics of data analytics to the future of real estate. What's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Embrace the power of data. It's changing the real estate game. It's giving you insights and opportunities that we've never had before. So explore those new technologies. Stay curious. Keep learning. The future of Dubai real estate is bright, and you can be a part of it.
So well said. It's been amazing exploring this world with you. Thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into Dubai's data-driven real estate. Remember, knowledge is power. And in this market, staying ahead of the curve is key. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.